So let's talk about what it's really like to join the legendary Rolex waitlist. First off, diving into this is not for the faint of heart. You're in for a bit of a wait, maybe a couple of years, and that's just the appetizer. The demand for these watches is off the charts, outpacing supply by miles. This has stretched waitlists to epic lengths, making the quest to snag a Rolex more of a marathon than a sprint. It's crucial to get your head around this whole setup if you're dreaming of wrapping a shiny new Rolex around your wrist. Now, walking into a Rolex store and expecting to walk out with a top model under your arm is like hoping to win the lottery on your first ticket. It's optimistic, but not exactly strategic. These waitlists are more like a backstage line at a concert. Knowing the right people and how long you've been hanging around matters. And let's be honest, not all dealers are going to reveal about where you stand in that line. Sometimes you might get the classic, "we're all out" send-off before you can even get your hopes up. So in today's episode, we're diving into the world of Rolex, spotting those top-tier models and their famously long waitlists. Number 1. Rolex Daytona. Kicking things off with a classic, the Rolex Daytona first hit the scene back in 1963 and has never looked back. This watch is a piece of history on your wrist, especially the Paul Newman reference 6239. Talk about a collector's dream. This model can handle a nod to the golden era of racing, having debuted as the first of its kind, with that eye-catching dial linked to the star himself. It's like owning a piece of the Daytona racetrack, built with features meant for the pros. Think tachymetric scale and robust movement. And just so you know, snagging one of these isn't a walk in the park. You might end up waiting anywhere from a year to 3, depending on how the stars align in the world of Rolex cues. Number 2. Rolex GMT Master 2. Next up, the Rolex GMT Master 2. Born in 1955, this watch quickly became a must-have for world trotters and pilot pros alike. More than a timekeeper, it was a jet-setter's best friend. By 1959, Rolex had teamed up with Pan Am, and just like that, the GMT Master was the go-to watch for aviators everywhere. Fast forward to 1982, and we hit a milestone with a game-changing tweak, a new movement that let the hour hand move independently. Suddenly, managing time zones became as easy as a pilot's smooth landing. If you're thinking about getting your hands on one, patience is your best bet to land this watch. With a waitlist stretching from 12 to 24 months, it's clear this watch is still a hot item. But hey, good things come to those who wait, especially when it's a watch that's practically got wings. Number 3. Rolex Sky Dweller. Now the Rolex Sky Dweller. Rolled out in 2012, this piece is a marvel of engineering with its stack of patents and innovations. Basically, it's a traveler's companion. Sporting a clever off-center disc to track dual time zones and the Saro's annual calendar, it's all about making life easier across the time zones. If you're eyeing the Sky Dweller, you might need to buckle up for a bit of a wait, anywhere from 8 to 24 months. Number 4. Rolex Datejust. The Rolex Datejust, which debuted back in 1945. This watch possesses unique traits. It was the first self-winding waterproof chronometer that had the audacity to show the date at 3 o'clock. Pretty groundbreaking stuff back then, and frankly it still holds up today. It's a blend of all the best Rolex innovations, wrapped up in that signature timeless design. If you're setting your sights on one, the queue runs about 3 to 6 months. Not too shabby for a piece of history, right? Plus, it's like wearing a piece of the mid-20th century on your wrist, only way cooler. Quick break. Why not subscribe and join the opulent Oasis community? Stay ahead with our top-notch content. Back to the discussion. Number 5. Rolex Oyster Perpetual. You see, the Rolex Oyster Perpetual is the bedrock of the Rolex family. This line has its roots going all the way back to the original Oyster in 1926, which was a game-changer with its waterproof case. The Oyster Perpetual keeps it classy, with a design that's as straightforward as it is elegant. No fuss, all function. While it might not be the showstopper some of its flashier siblings are, don't be fooled. Getting your hands on one typically takes about 6 to 12 months. It's like the quiet kid in class who surprises you with their depth. Understated, but undeniably, impressive. Number 6. Rolex Submariner. Next up is the Rolex Submariner, first making waves in 1953 and officially diving into the scene at Baselworld in 1954. This watch really set the bar for dive watches. It was the first to boast water resistance down to 100 meters. Today it's still at the top league of Rolex's sports collection, blending stellar design with top-notch functionality. If you're looking to snag a Submariner, expect to hang tight for about 6 to 12 months. Number 7. Rolex Sea Dweller. Diving deeper, let's explore the Rolex Sea Dweller. This heavyweight champ of the deep seas made its debut in 1967, tailored specifically for the hardcore divers. Fast forward to its 50th birthday in 2017, and it got a hefty upgrade, boosting both its deep-sea creds and its style points. If you're planning to snag one of these, brace yourself for a wait that could stretch from 3 to 18 months. It's a favorite for those who take their diving seriously, or just want to look like they do. Number 8. Rolex Day Date. Switching gears to the Rolex Day Date, also known as the President's Watch. Launched in 1956, this piece was a trailblazer, being the first to tell you not just the date, but also the day of the week, and in full text no less, right there on the dial. Only available in the fanciest of metals, we're talking gold and platinum, this watch screams luxury. Looking to get on this waitlist? You might be in it for the long haul, anywhere from 6 to 36 months. And let's not forget the latest twist, the puzzle dial, which is a conversation starter. However, this means you might just wait even longer to get this playful yet posh piece around your wrist. But as they say, a watch fit for a president is worth waiting for, right? Number 9. Rolex Explorer. The Rolex Explorer burst onto the scene in 1953. This rugged beauty became an icon, alongside the historic ascent of Mount Everest by Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay, who both donned Rolex timepieces during their climb. Celebrating this monumental feat, Rolex launched the Explorer that very year, and it's been a hit with adventurers and high-profile folks ever since. If you're looking to get your hands on one, you might be hanging tight for about 6 to 18 months. It's a small price to pay for a piece of mountaineering history that looks just as good at a royal gala as it does on a rugged trail. Number 10. Rolex 1908. Now let's talk about one of the latest models on the block, the Rolex 1908 collection. Revealed at the recent Watches and Wonders event, this series takes a fresh spin, following in the footsteps of the Cellini line but with a twist. Drawing inspiration from vintage elegance reminiscent of classic Beauvais pieces, these watches come with slim cases and fluted bezels, available in either yellow or white gold. As a newcomer, pinning down the waitlist time is a bit like trying to catch a cloud. Tough but not impossible. Expectations hover around a minimum of 6 months. Apparently, the tug-of-war between demand and supply is real with Rolex, and with their production capped at about 1 million watches a year, those waitlists aren't going anywhere anytime soon. But who wouldn't hang around for a bit of that Rolex magic, right? We're curious to hear your take on these Rolex legends and the wait game. Share your opinions in the comments below. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to leave a comment, give a thumbs up, and subscribe to Opulent Oasis for more. Looking forward to seeing you in our next video.